life were turned off like a light switch at any time. How many of you readers will deny that the movie Doctor Strangelove was so popular because its ending was such a happy one? Thank you. Good day. Hello, this is Bruce Ramsey, and I'm going to read The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrok by T.S. Eliot. I'm reading it to you because it's powerful. Let us go, you and I, when the evening is spread out against the sky, like a patient etherized upon a table. Let us go through certain half-deserted streets, the muttering retreats of restless nights and one-night cheap hotels and sawdust restaurants with oyster shells. Streets that follow like a tedious argument of insidious intent to lead you to an overwhelming question. Or, oh, do not ask, what is it? Let us go and make our visit. In the room, the women come and go, talking of Michelangelo, the yellow fog that rubs its back upon the window panes, the yellow smoke that rubs its muzzle on the window panes, licked its tongue into the corners of the evening, lingered upon the pools that stand in drains, let fall upon its back the soot that falls from the chimneys, slipped by the terrace, made a sudden leap, and seen that it was soft October night, curled once upon the horse and fell asleep. And indeed there will be time for the yellow smoke that slides upon the street, rubbing its back upon the window panes. There will be time to prepare a face to meet the faces that you meet. There will be time to murder and create, a time for all the licks and days of hands that lift and drop the question on your plate. Time for you, and time for me, and time yet for 100 indecisions, and for 100 revisions and revisions, before the taking of toast and tea. In the room, the women come and go, talking of Michelangelo, and indeed there will be time to wonder, do I dare, and do I dare? Time to turn back and descend the stair, with a bald spot in the middle of my hair. They will say, how his hair is growing thin. My morning coat, my collar mounting firmly to my chin, the necktie rich and modest, but certain by a simple pin. They will say, but how his arms and legs are thin. Do I dare disturb the universe? In a minute there is time for decisions and revisions. With a minute will reverse. For I have known them all already, known them all. Have known the evenings, mornings, afternoons. I have measured out my life with coffee spoons. I know the voices dying with a dying fall beneath the music from a farther room. So, how should I presume? And I have known the eyes already, known them all. the eyes that fix you in a formulated phrase, and when I am formulated, sprawling on a pin, when I am pinned and wiggling to the wall, then then how shall I begin to spit out all the buttons of my days and ways? And should I presume? Just a minute. They will say, but how his arms and legs are thin. Do I dare disturb the universe? In a minute there is time for decisions and revisions, which a minute will reverse. For I've known them already, known them all, have known the evenings, mornings, afternoons. I've measured out all my life with coffee spoons. I know the voices dying with a dying fall beneath the music from my father room. So how should I presume? And I have known the eyes already, known them all, the eyes that fix you in a formulated phrase, and when I am formulated, sprawling on a pin, when I am pinned and wiggling on the wall, then how should I begin to spit out all the buttons of my days and ways? How should I presume? And I have known the arms already, known them all, arms that are braceleted and white and bare, but in the lamplight downed with light brown hair, is perfume from a dress that makes me so distress. Arms that lie along the table, wrap upon about a shawl, and should I then presume, and how should I begin? And I shall say, I have gone at dusk through narrow streets, and watched the smoke that rises from the pipes of lonely men in shirt sleeves leaning out of windows. I should have been a pair of ragged claws scattered across the floors of silent seas. And the afternoon, the evening, sleep so peacefully, smoothed by long fingers, asleep, tired, or it malingers. Stretched on the floor here beside you and me, should I, after tea and cakes and ices, have the strength to force the moment to its crises? But though I have wept and fasted, wept and prayed, though I have seen my head grown slightly bald till the drawn in upon a platter, I am no prophet, and here's no great matter. I have seen the moment of my greatness flicker, and I have seen the eternal footman hold my coat and snicker, and in short, I was afraid. And though it has been worth it all, after the cups, the marmalade, the tea, among the porcelain, among some talk of you and me, would it have been worthwhile to have bitten off the matter with a smile? To have squeezed the universe into a ball, to roll it towards us, towards some overwhelming question, to say, I'm Lazarus, come from the dead, come back to tell you all. I shall tell you all, if one setting a pillow by her head should say, that is not what I meant at all, that's not it at all. And would it have been worth it after all? Would it have been worthwhile? After the sunsets and the dooryards and the sprinkled streets, after the novels, after the teacups, after the skirts that trail along the floor, and this, and so much more? It is impossible to say just what I mean. But as a magic lantern through the nerves and patterns on the screen, would it have been worthwhile if one setting a pillow or throwing off a shawl and turning toward the window should say, That is not it at all. That is not what I meant. At all. That is not what I meant at all. Oh. Oh, youth. Oh. I'm watching these pretty young girls out there. Damn it, I wish I were young again. Really cute and young and pretty. And here I am, 24. I grow old. I grow old. I shall wear the bottoms of my trousers rolled. Shall I pot my hair behind? Do I dare to eat a peach? No, I'm not Prince Hamlet, nor was meant to be. Am an intendant lord, who, one that will do, to swell a progress, dot a scene or two. Yes, at times, indeed, almost ridiculous, almost at times, the fool. Nah, I grow old. I grow old. I shall wear the bottoms of my trousers rolled. Alright, I'm going to show you some females. See, I missed out on my childhood. My childhood was really dull. How can they have fun? How? How can someone like them, have fun? I never had that much fun when I was a kid. And there's Mr. Anger. I had such a stupid childhood. Oh well. That's life. No one has perfect childhoods. Hated my childhood. Lousy, stupid childhood. Oh well. Okay, back to this powerful poem. Shall I pot my hair behind? Do I dare to eat a peach? Shall I wear the white flannel trousers and walk upon the beach? I have heard the mermaids singing each to each. I do not think they will sing to me. I have seen them riding seaweed on the waves, combing the white hair of the waves blown back when the wind blows the water white and black. We have lingered in the chambers of the sea, by seagulls wreathed with seaweed red and brown, till human voices wake us, and we drown. Powerful, powerful, powerful. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do it at all. I am going to do is read. See, when I was going to Berkeley back in 1982, the question, the meaning of life came to my mind a lot, and I found life to be very absurd and meaningless back then. I still do, but there are some other things that have changed my point of view now. And anyway, I thought I would read you a thing from Macbeth. Yes. To show what I mean. Macbeth's tomorrow and tomorrow, to sum it up what I do. This is poetry, okay. She should have died hereafter. There would have been time for... Okay, I have to do it powerful though. She should have died hereafter. There would have been time for such a word. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty-faced last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle, life is but a walking shadow, a poor player who struts and fruts its hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. And this is what Dylan Thomas had to say about the meaning of life. He was kind of a depressed kind of guy, some kind of guy I could relate to. And you might find it interesting too. He said it made him feel old. It was kind of like a woman chasing all that syrup and blah 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 blah, you know. Okay, it's called Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. The wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words are thought to know like mean they. Do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, the last wave by, crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced in Green Bay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Wild men who caught and sang the sun in flight, and learned too late they grieved it on its way. Do not go gentle into that good night. Grave men near death, who see with blinding sight, blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And you, my father, there upon that said height, curse, bless me now with your fierce tears, I pray. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And anyway, I think Ecclesiastes sums it up right now of what life is and its meaning and all that. Ecclesiastes was written by Solomon, who was one of the wisest men who ever lived. He was the Hebrew king of Jerusalem back when God, all that sort of stuff. And this is what he has to say about life and living and all that. Remember also thy Creator in the days of thy youth, or ever the evil days come, and the years draw nigh when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Or ever the sun and the light and the moon and the stars be darkened, and the clouds return after the rain, and the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the street, when the sound of the grinding is low. And one shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Yea, they shall be afraid of that which is high, and terror shall be in the way, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and the caper berry shall fail, because man goeth to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets. Or ever the silver cord be loosed, or the golden bowl be broken, or the pitcher be broken at the fountain, or the wheel be broken at the cistern, and the door return, and the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit return unto God, who gave it. Vanity of vanities. All is vanity. Vanities of vanities, saith the preacher. All is vanity. Thank you. Okay, this is Bruce Ramsey. Today is March 20th, 1985. Okay, poetry reading. This is a study for my class tomorrow. I have to do this in my class. Poetry reading. The name is Bruce Ramsey, and I'm reading powerful pieces from Dylan Thomas, King Solomon, and the guy we aren't very familiar with, Mr. William Shakespeare. I chose them to do my poetry readings from because they seem to know so much about life and all the great meaning that goes with life. But sometimes life seems very absurd and meaningless to us, and I found the small poetic piece from Shakespeare's Macbeth to be full of deep meaning when I'm feeling lousy. This piece comes from the last part of the play when Macbeth has just learned that his evil, crazy wife has just died. And this is what he has to say about life. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace, from day to the last syllable of recorded time, and all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle, life is but a watching shadow. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Oh well. Dylan Thomas, a Welsh poet who had a short but kind of glorious life, was an existentialist who had the constant hum of the existential angst in him. Or, so I have learned. To keep his mind off of life, he became a womanizer and alcoholic. The death of his dad made him feel old and compelled him to write this poem about the fate of life. It's called Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Life. Good night. So depressing is this poem that I will try to cheer it up with a funny accent. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rave, rave against the dying of the light. Though wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words had fought no lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, the last wave by, crying how bright their frail deed might have danced in Green Bay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Wild men who caught and sang the sun in flight, and learned too late they grieved it on its way. Do not go gentle into that good night. Grave men near death, who see with blinding sight, blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And you, my father, there on that sad height, curse, bless me now with your fierce tears, I pray. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. My last piece is from Ecclesiastes in the Old Testament of the Bible, written by King Solomon over 3,000 years ago. Solomon was known as the wisest king of Israel, not to mention the richest, and he experienced all the pleasures that any normal man would practically give his soul for. But he too saw life to be very meaningless and cruel, and that all we desire and do is all vanity and vexation of spirit. What kept him from taking the big dive, though, was the belief in God and the possibility of an afterlife. This is what he has to say about the close of one's life. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun, or the light, or the moon, or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few,